I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is Yaya Diamond, and you can get me on all platforms and as well as the DuPont Network, The Right Place, Rewind Network, LWR TV and radio in London, England, and so many different places. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. You know, we have an amazing guest on the show today. He lives in South America, and from what I hear, it is a really diverse place where he's at. And I want to welcome him to the show. It is Brandon Angel Fitness on the show today. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. It's nice to be here tonight.
Awesome. Thank you. So tell me about your journey up until today. You know, how did you get involved in fitness?
Okay, so I'm really lucky to have fitness handed to me from every direction when I was in a really bad situation as a young person. It saved my life. Boxing saved my life. The gym saved my life. Having friends that were involved with physical fitness saved my life really from an early age. And I didn't have parental guidance at all. And so I'm super thankful for that. And then when I went through the hardest challenges of my life, once again, it was a fitness-based system that I came into contact with cosmically that really was able to make the right changes in my life all the way.
You know, they say that when you work out, you release endorphins and depression goes away, anxiety goes away, the tension goes away, the pressure, the you know, everything just kind of melts into that one moment where you're just there and you're involved with just fitness. Is this true?
It's super true. I would say that you can achieve that moment every single day.
No, okay, so your fitness program and you being in fitness, tell me about this.
Yeah, so every single day I meet on a Zoom call with international friends and we really make bonds, right? They say brothers are made in the foxhole. Well, we do an exercise called burpees, which is a very winded, hardcore exercise. Yeah. And we do a whole bunch of them, like 100 to 200 or sometimes 300 every single morning. Yeah, at 3 a.m.
Oh,
Yeah, so we all go to bed early, we all get up early, and we consider it a win. And most of the people in the group, I'd say, have gone through some seriously hardcore stuff. Some of the harder things to overcome, but also some of the things that require you to take a hold of that harder core solution. So can't have the light without the dark, right? And it's just really a blessing to me to be a part of such a group that actually puts that level of work in. And then we have like a 1 hour mastermind that we do. Also, Napoleon Hill is one of many people who have mentioned the power of the mastermind. So many people coming together in self-development and fitness, wanting to become their best and overcome the rest. And um, having that powwow every morning is pretty powerful.
it's I used to do burpees. I have to say, used to. I injured my knee. I fell off the stage twice onto the same part, and that part of the cartilage on the inside of my knee is completely torn, completely messed up.
Okay.
So burpees is not possible without,
Yeah.
like, you know, really messing up my knee again. And I don't want to do that. Do you have any different suggestions on people on different levels of fitness? You know, there's people that are like me that can't do certain things because of prior injuries, but then there are people that have never done anything before.
Right. Well, I would say that it really helps to work with the community of people who are experts in different fields of things. So I have a large base of people that you can bounce things off of. I'm also really lucky that during my time in the United States Navy, I was working really closely with a physical therapist who that was his passion. And we would talk in a repair locker every single morning, actually. I'm just funny. And he would, be talking all about physiology and every which way and all this different stuff that he was learning. So, but yeah, I'd love to hear more details about what you're going through. And there's also on my own personal journey and something that's real big down here in Latin America and Medellin specifically And another city I spend a lot of time in, which is Panama City. Panama is stem cell therapy. There's some serious, real deal progress all the way through autistic kids. I just saw a whole breakfast lobby full of them at the Panama City Hilton, yeah, and was able to talk to a bunch of the families for a week and hear about how it's their fourth time and the results are excellent and they couldn't be happier and all this. So stem cells are real, and there's real healing in a lot of knee problems. So that might be something worth. So yeah, just you know, this is my endeavor, fitness, right? So I'm crawling all over every angle of it as much as possible now, especially as I'm just filling this coaching role. So
tell me about that. Tell me about the coaching, because I run away from coaching. I do. It's not something that I want to do, only because I know that I'm responsible for whatever I'm teaching for that person to actually grow. How have you taken on that responsibility yourself?
Well, I made the decision to hire a coach, a life coach with a lot of results himself. I was acquiring what I admired, and I made it transactional because, one time I had to fight a legal case. I tried to get a bunch of guys, even jujitsu guys, that were lawyers to help me with it and stuff like that. But until I made the transaction and had an invested party in my success, did I see the needle really move. And that actually was true in my self-development journey big time. And once I made that action and I joined the community of people who are making that action and really taking things seriously and putting some skin in the game and making a sacrifice, then you really do. It's much more weighted at that point. So you realize the power for yourself. And then all in that same respect, as you invest in self-development to the point that you're unstoppable and you're getting up at 2:45 in the morning every day and you've done 200 burpees before people are still wiping their eyes, right? When you're that unstoppable, now you have permission to be the discipline for someone else who may be overweight or all kinds of different issues, both mental and physical. And if they find, every superstar has a superstar team around them. If they find the moment and time where they're ready to hire you or put you in that position to be invested in their success, then you've got to do it. And you're already someone, again, who's really holding the bar way above. And it was the best decision for me. It was the best decision for me. And eventually people, and just now, like someone that I'm working with is looking, so I'm right at that stage where I've actually worked with someone long enough to where now they're starting to work with their own people. And it's just basically, you decide you want to be a good person. You want to be completely honest. You want to be real good, like the white knight in shining armor for the people that you really genuinely love. There's no fake anything in anyone that I know anymore. That's another really beautiful aspect of this, is everybody's very genuine. They're very in the moment. They're very there to get better and to see you get better. Jealousy is like this figment of an imagination already to me, because I've learned to just surround myself with only these people who have that passion and really put in that amount of work, really, to have the connection on that level. It's beautiful.
That sounds wonderful. It does sound great. And it sounds like you've made those connections. It is truly
Yeah.
difficult to do that. I mean, it takes a lot of trial and error to find those people that you truly connect with and you can truly work with without any reprimations, without any reservations, without any hindrances. That is wonderful and beautiful. So let me ask you a question. Your program, how do you implement your program? And you said you work internationally, so anybody can do this?
Yeah, anyone. We have a Zoom call, and so up to like 30 people have been on different ones. Sometimes we break it up and everything. It's really, right now, at least with my special group, and I swear this is the coolest group of people in the world, and we're definitely here for people. That's just really the whole idea. And it's like this nuclear beautiful thing, and it just keeps like reproducing and growing. And this is what we need. Like you just said, it's a valid thing in the world. People right now, especially in the United States. No, I'm not selling Medellin at all on this. But anyway, yeah, people right now are definitely having a difficult time making interpersonal relationships. Again, I'm not selling Medellin, but it's also the reason I preferred to stay down here is because in a lot of ways, I'm an American. I'm from the land of enchantment. I'm from New Mexico, so I definitely love a ton about New Mexico, the United States. I'm very appreciative. I'm an honorably served veteran. That being said, our culture has become pretty toxic, and the language barrier is actually helpful. It's kind of like a 1950s America here still. There's a bubble blower down at this excellent Medellin River Park right now. There's cotton candy people, everyone's smiling. It's a very different scenario. And anyway, yeah, so on this international Zoom call, we've sort of created a beautiful place, man, that we meet every single morning, and it really is wonderful.
That's so sweet. That's like a utopia.
Yeah, it is. It's a little morning utopia. We're in burpee heaven, we call it.
Man, I tell you what so what can people do to reach you, to be a part of this burpee heaven?
Okay, well, they can go to my Instagram at Brandon Angel Fitness on Instagram. I think that's the main portal right now for me. That's where most of all of us connect, is on Instagram.
Awesome.
That way you can share videos and motivational bits and everything like that. One thing I wanted to mention and talk about a little bit too is some of the hardcore journey that I went through that forced me into this, which was I had a 10-year-old princess and we were tight as can be. And her mother got a new boyfriend, and I feel like a new drug habit is what I hear. And anyway, I didn't see her again after she was 10. And I didn't talk to her again after she was 10. And I didn't know where she was, but I knew that any attempt I would make during that time would just enrage a manipulative force again in her life, where she was just supposed to be going to school and trying to make healthy relationships with other kids. So to refrain from inflaming any reaction like that, I stayed away, all to see the textbook results when she was 18, 19, and 20 that these kids go through, that was just basically handed to her. And imagine you're sending the professional specialist videos to the person that's doing this the entire time they're doing it, and they never stop, So that is the hardcore thing that I've had to work with. And they estimate now that there's like 22 million people. So I have got, after years of investment, to this place where I'll make my second documentary movie about this subject. And the first one I made was Philadelphia Homicide City, Money, Murder, and Politics. Did you ever hear about that by chance?
Oh, no, I haven't.
Yeah, well, in 2008, I made this with a young man named Barry Evans and another group of young men in Philadelphia. I'm from New Mexico. I served in the military. I got the GI Bill, applied to the universities close to my daughter I was just telling you about, landed at Temple, couldn't believe Temple accepted me. I said, well, I have to go there. I had the GI Bill, so I go there. Temple University housing boom's going on. I quickly realized that my framing skills were going to get me way further than my school skills, which were pretty much not Temple level at all. So I jumped over there, and when I was building houses, I did make a bunch of money. I actually lost 5 student rentals in this whole thing when this woman was putting false allegations against me, trying to jail me. This happens in almost every case and stuff like so. But anyways, I met this young man as I was building those houses, and I swear it was one of those Einstein quote, God's way of remaining anonymous is coincidence, right? So these kids are telling me, and I'm in a church, 10-year church member, active church member, even while I was deployed. And then I'm doing this church calling, which was running this basketball program. And these kids were telling me, our friend just made this beat for this famous rapper. And then a car drove by, booming the beat. So they're like, there's the beat. And then 2 minutes go by, and they point at this guy pushing a stroller. I'm a new father at the time. My kid was 6 at the time. He's pushing up a stroller up the street. I've never been around like the African American community before, but we all became completely in love with each other. We made this film. One of the houses I refinanced in West Philadelphia that I couldn't use as a student rental, I turned it into a studio and just let these like really special group of kids that graduated from Girard College just take it over. And they actually edited 90% of that film, which the bootleggers said beat Tom Cruise's Mission Impossible at the time. Yeah, it was internet. There was a, because I was a Temple University student at the time that I was helping this production come, it won the 2008 Philadelphia Hip Hop Awards for Best Documentary, this thing. It was internationally sold. We didn't know. I just interviewed my college professor. He probably thought it was, you know, just a Temple production or whatever. But it turns out he was the nephew of this big time political scientist. His name is Daniel Chomsky. And so because that was his nephew, the political science professor at Temple, this thing just blew up. And it was like internationally ordered. They still use it in the prison systems. So I feel like, and there's even a 10-minute segment in the film about how having kids kidnapped in this custody thing, incentivized by the government, right, or whatever. Oh, they talk about the child support and everything, underline the homicide rate at this, that's pretty phenomenal. And there's like a 5-minute segment in the movie of that. So I think with that kind of history and maybe talking to the right kind of people such as yourself or whatever, you know, just starting to talk about it now, I could put together just as meaningful of a production that could represent people such as myself, fathers and mothers. This happens to mothers too. You know, anytime a deviant parent wants to manipulate the system, there's really nothing you can do, right? We all know about this hands tied situation, and it's terrible. And the abuse and the loser's the kid. And so, you know, that's something I really want to mention. So yes, I'm doing burpees every day, and I'm passionate about at some point making a film that properly represents how disastrous this whole situation is with the child, you know, wreck the X to get the checks thing, you know.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it happens every day too.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a big problem. It's
You,
huge, and nobody. It's so hard to. It's so disgusting, honestly, that you can't. It's people just don't even want to talk about it, you know. And I understand.
Yeah, definitely. You're gonna have to send me the link to that, or send me the name, and then I'll find it and then put it in the description box so people can find that film. Because I didn't,
100%.
I may have heard about it, but it's been a minute, but I didn't see it. I know that, but I love documentaries, and I would love to see you do another one. That would be amazing, because we do need to bring light to the situations at hand. Definitely, definitely. Wow. Wow. That is
Copy
amazing.
that. Yes,
Wow.
ma'am. I will do that. I will
Please
do
do,
that.
please do. Wow. So, okay, so people can find you on Instagram and they can be in burpee heaven. But most of all, I would like to also let them know that you have different life things that you want to accomplish. If they can help you or even watch it, that would be a great help. Also, you know, follow you on Instagram. That's another great help. So,
Totally, totally.
yeah,
No, and
definitely.
I'm actually open to help people at all levels of play. Like it's not a, you know, I really want to be a genuine, authentic person in my life, and to including you can even come with the knee problem. It's not just burpee heaven. There's a couple people that have to do some augmented exercise, but you know the important thing is we're together, and it's all
Yeah.
really a safe, good place. You know, that's the main thing that we do.
Wow. Well, you're not getting me up at 3:30 in the morning, especially
I could
especially
try
since
though.
especially since we're so far ahead of you. Like, what time is it there?
Right now it's 6:30.
It's 6:30, so we're both the
Yeah.
same. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
all right.
That's what I was also surprised about as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. Okay.
Hmm.
Well, anyway,
Actually,
so
and you know what? I'm not trying to like corner you into it or anything, but because of the time difference, most of these guys are in California. We only have to get
oh
up at 6 if you want to jump
yeah.
in.
Yeah, I'm up at 6, but not no. I'm doing work, I'm studying, I'm doing some stuff at 6 o'clock. I've already been like deep into my studies at 6 o'clock.
Well,
But
I'll certainly send
yeah.
you the link just in case one day for some reason you want to pop in. You're totally more than welcome.
Oh my goodness. Okay. But thank you so much, Brandon. Man,
Cool.
I
Thank you.
appreciate you. I appreciate what you're doing. And continue to do this. This is amazing. And I love the fact that you have admitted that this fitness has brought you out of a lot of different things and situations and it saved your life. And I appreciate it. And it's not the first time I've heard that fitness has saved someone's life. It's just wonderful. Just wonderful.
Yeah, yeah. It's really a natural requirement. You know, I don't want to take up too much time, but I spent a long time during this chapter in tropical jungle nature and observing nature and taking my time to nature. So that's just another free thing I can offer. You know, time in nature does heal, and observing nature, one thing you will observe in nature is we're supposed to move around. You know, we're supposed to get it out like that. You know, we really, really are. So I think a lot of today's issues can be chalked up to a sedentary lifestyle too. So just remember to keep it moving, and you can always go to nature to get some space.
Definitely, definitely. Well, Brandon, thank you. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're going to have Brandon's information in the description box below, and hopefully that link to or the name of the documentary that he did that beat out Tom Cruise. Hey.
Well, that's Philadelphia Homicide City. The next one is Bangland. It's a play on gangland. Bangland. It's the dirty side of all that kid having stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. There's just it's so much to talk about. I wish we had more time. You're gonna have to come back on the show one day. When you, after
sure.
you do, okay. So after you do your next documentary, now you're obligated.
Roger that.
All right.
Thank you too much. Yeah. I appreciate it
Thank
very
you.
much.
No problem. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to dare to be different. Until next time, guys. Bye.